youth, we finally watched Encanto over the weekend.
We did.
Yeah.
And we loved it. We loved it. In our last episode, we talked about the music in Encanto and the more or less what it was about. But now, since we watched it, now we can really put our inside
thoughts of everything that was
about it.
happening. It's very, very cute movie. And also, one of the things that Ash was saying was sometimes the Disney movie became like, okay, you go have the journey, kill the dragon, that's it. But like, I feel like it was a little bit more, I don't know, it reminded me a little bit of Inside Out. Like, it's more about like the emotion, the feeling through the family, like the connection through all of that.
right.
And I really love how they portray a villain, but it was not a villain.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't. Yes.
I feel like that's such a great thought.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we are just misinterpreted. We are just misunderstood.
Right.
And that doesn't mean you are the bad guy because you are misunderstood.
Right.
So I think it's a very amazing message the whole thing has. Also about like she not being gifted.
Right. Maribel not being gifted. Yeah.
So it's like, no, she's actually...
She is.
It's kind of like everyone has a gift, and sometimes that gift isn't obvious until the right moment happens.
Right.
And I also liked the message too, just going what you were saying. It's not like this crazy, fantastical, complicated
story
process or anything. It's quite simple, and I think the message is like really beautiful, because I think sometimes people can get so caught up in doing good that they lose sight of like doing good, which it seems like crazy to wrap your brain around, but I think it's just so important to remind yourself, like, on a journey to do good, like why you're doing it, and not get caught up in like being perfect at like doing it,
right,
because that takes away from
exactly,
it. So I really love that.
Exactly. When I saw the movie, I feel like the moral of the story, through my point of view, is like to never ignore what's in front of you. I think that the grandma was like so caught up with all the other grandchildren and all the other children's abilities and talents in the community that she forgot what was right in front of her. And in life, we get so caught up with work and school and family and kids and this and the other that we forget what we do have in front of us. We have we have good health, we have a job. We got all just caught up with all the other things around us that we don't focus on what's in front of us, and we should appreciate what's in front of us, because it's great, it's wonderful. And so I think the moral of the story, we can interpret it in so many ways, but it was a very good message. I think the way the plot, the story, how it all unfolded, the characters, I think it was very well written and very well expressed through all those characters.
Mirabel is the little miracle.
But
let's go a little bit more in depth. So I was reading a little bit more about the show and the music and the full thing, and not just the detail in the animation, because the animation is astonishing. Like
the colors, the attention to detail.
The attention to the detail is insane. Like, I mean, I was telling you guys because I'm Colombian, so I can pick up, like, for example, the tiple. Tiple is a guitar that has 3 strings in each of the things. So it's 4 strings. Each one has 3 individual. And they have that during the full movie. You know, they have also the sombrero volteado. They have all the ruanas. Like, they have a lot of little details. The regular people might not see it, but like it's very to our culture. It's very representative. Like the river at the end.
The river.
When I told you guys, like, this river actually exists.
I didn't think that.
Tell us the name again of the river.
I forgot the name of the river, but I think it's the Rainbow River.
Rainbow.
Yeah, because explain to the listeners like what it like.
It's a river with a lot of plants that make the colors pop out.
So like almost like pink and stuff.
And blues and greens.
Wow. So it's like very colorful. Like you wouldn't think a river would be this colorful, like a rainbow.
Yeah.
So if you look it up, Colombian, you can just put the Colombian Rainbow River and it's gonna appear to you.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. So those little details are amazing. But now let's go more in depth. So, let's start when we don't talk about Bruno, right?
Yes.
So we don't talk about Bruno. It's a song that has so many different people and they all are, how can I say this? I don't know the right terms in the music, but like, so the familia Madrigal, Madrigal in music also can be interpreted as a chorus, like as a lot of people singing.
Like a choir.
So a madrigal could also be like a choir, like a lot of people singing. So we don't talk about Bruno. It's kind of a representation of that. And the madrigal family is kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Mirabel is also in the music. When she always she's singing in threes.
Oh.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, that means like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2,
like
3,
a waltz.
3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, you know.
Very cool.
So
Very
like a waltz.
cool.
Wow.
When everybody else in the family is actually singing in 4/4.
Oh. Wow.
So if you think that as how genius Lin-Manuel is to
Yeah.
put that into throughout the full movie, it's insane.
It's insane.
Like that thought.
Wow.
So if you actually listen to the first song, she's singing in something that is called like triple threats or something like that. Again, I'm not a musician, so I don't know the right terms. But so instead of, and he does it in Hamilton as well. So he has done this a couple times.
In his works.
So when she sings, she goes into thinking kind of like talking. So when you go through the song, she's still in threes, but she goes through, and then it actually matches the beat.
It makes me wonder if they like layered her in separately, or if like she had to sing like along everyone else, because that to me would be so confusing, because like you'd have to like block out everyone else.
She
And
doesn't.
not
No.
let it-
I think.
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what Lin-Manuel was saying. He knew how well the artist is, the girl who plays Mirabel. He was like, I knew she can do it, so
Oh.
Wow.
it's insane. So
That's awesome.
Mirabel
That's
is
so crazy.
in threes, right? During the full movie.
Right.
So when we get to Dos Oruguitas, which is the last song,
Yeah.
it's in threes.
Yeah.
Why in threes? Why is so important the three?
Well, tell us.
Because Dos Oruguitas, the caterpillar, has 3 faces.
Oh.
Caterpillar, cocoon,
And
butterfly.
Oh.
Wow.
So beautiful.
That's just heartwarming.
So
Yeah.
it gives you that full of like
Of
that's
life.
the full movie.
Wow.
That's what the movie's about. So then at the end,
Yeah.
The stages of life.
it becomes a fourth. Yeah,
That
because
is so freaking clever.
It
You
is.
also said, Gus, too, that like another reason he had her in threes and everyone else in fours was because like she doesn't really fit in.
She doesn't fit in,
throughout. And so
uh-huh.
like that's kind of why he wanted to like evoke that feeling of her being different yet still part of the family.
Still
Right.
part of the family.
Right.
Yeah. So
That
that's
is
really
so
cool.
cute.
That's really
It's-
cute.
It's so brilliant. Like the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
scene is
Yeah.
out of like he's a genius.
That is just.
And how it connects throughout the full movie, how all the instruments connect through it, how he also brings the culture with also kind of like a little bit of new sounds. Because, for example, what I forgot the name,
Tick, tick,
Luisa?
boom.
Luisa.
Luisa.
Luisa in her song.
Is it
Surface.
pressure or something?
No, Under the Surface, I think.
Under the surface.
Under the
yeah, that
surface.
sounds about right.
Under the Surface is a reggaeton.
Wow.
But it's a
Wow.
reggaeton that is kind of like mashed up to a higher pitch. I don't know how to say.
I want to know why that
musically.
song's not the number one song.
I don't know how that
To
one,
me, that was like the best part of the whole movie.
that one is pretty good. And the
Like
animation.
the animation and the song, and like the woman, I can't remember her name, who sings that part. I feel like her voice is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like husky, but like still feminine, and it's like a not like a very common voice, but I
Not at
really
all.
liked it, and like that combined with like the animation in that
No,
moment,
so good.
like
So
and
good.
just like the girl power message of it too, or
Yeah.
just like how a lot of women feel sometimes. Like we have
Pressure.
so much pressure to like be a certain way.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like surprised that's not like
Yeah.
the number one hit of the
Right.
movie,
Yeah,
because
it
Right.
reached the number 9.
So
that's
it's top
still
10.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Her name is Jessica Darrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's a
Darrow.
Cuban American
Cuban
actress.
American.
Human
Yeah.
American.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
That song is so well. And again, it's a reggaeton,
Yeah.
right? That
Right,
goes into
right, right,
it.
right.
But when it is about to end, it develops into kind of like a musical.
Right, right.
So it has kind of like nothing that connects, but in the story, it totally makes sense.
Oh,
And
wow.
this has so much thought, like musically.
It really
It has so much thought.
it is well thought.
It makes
It
me
is
want to
so
like
well
go
thought.
back and watch Coco and like analyze that, or like hear about the musicians in that cartoon,
Right.
because I'm sure it's just as like detailed about all the
Yes.
Right,
thoughts
right,
But
going
like,
into
for
it.
example, in Coco, I don't think any of those songs reach the billboards, like the charts.
Which is shocking,
Which is
honestly, if
shocking.
you think about it.
Yeah.
But I do think this movie appealed to so many people of all ages, partly because it was so, I don't want to use the word simple, because like it's not simple,
not
but like
simple.
it's easy to understand.
Right. Right.
And it's just something like everyone can relate to. I feel
Exactly,
like.
exactly,
So maybe
exactly.
that's why it was
Right.
like
Yeah.
so
Right.
popular. But
Totally.
Yeah.
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 And we don't talk about Bruno. There is a little base of what was the predecessor of salsa. That's kind of what it has, kind of like that salsa vibe into
Right.
it. And then it kind of goes into la chismosa, that's what I call her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
one who hears everything.
Yes.
yeah.
It goes a little trappy, like into the
Right.
trap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, the beat to me is like the best part of the song
Yeah.
in that one. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's brilliant.
Yes.
It's like no,
Yeah.
like the full. It's
Yeah.
insane.
It's
and
really
it
cool.
and it circles back to real life. Colombia has written so many salsas, so many music that artists all over the world use have made them number ones, because that's how rich the culture is. Music is a big thing in Colombia, so it's fascinating how that movie highlights that as well.
It's insane. Like he is a musical genius,
Yeah.
and how not only is just like telling, how to say, like putting out a good song, how it ties up to the full story, how it tied up with everything.
Yeah.
It's like, and when you go into the details of the colors of each character and why they wear those colors, and how Mirabelle has in her dress the full family.
Exactly.
It's way too much.
Right,
It's way
right.
too deep.
Okay,
It
but I
really
want
is.
Disney to call me and tell me why. Why would you hire Maluma and not have him? Like
Oh,
he's saying like
yeah.
literally
We
like maybe
thought about
two
this,
sentences
too.
the whole movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, the dude is Colombian. He's like one of the most popular
Yeah, give him
music
one
artists
song.
like in the world. He literally like did nothing, and I was sad. I
Yeah.
wanted to see like the
Same.
Maluma
Same.
voice,
Maluma
like, singing.
baby.
Yeah, I wanted him to be like,
Maluma,
something.
baby.
Maluma baby.
yeah. Well,
Mamacita.
anyways, yeah, I wanted him to say that, Mamacita.
Disney movie.
This is Disney after all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know why they.
I wanted him to be like Encanto, baby.
Encanto, baby. Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
I don't know why they didn't pick him in.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, it goes deeper than everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
mostly kidding, but I am curious why.
Yeah.
What's the point of hiring a singer if you don't have them sing?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was part of the actual voiceovers, So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of like gives it a little bit better. But at the same time, it's
Yeah.
like he's the musician first. But yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? La verdad. So it's
Well.
pretty good. Very,
Right.
very good. Like I love
Yeah.
the
10
movie.
out of 10. Highly
Yeah.
recommend.
If you haven't seen it, go
Please
watch
watch
it.
Watch
it.
it.
You're going to love it.
And I think this is gonna